Dear students, some of you have been having problems doing the precision problem on 2A. So let's see how we can approach this on an easier way. So let's start with this problem. How do we know that B is the most accurate and B is also the most precise? So let's start with this. So the most accurate had to be as close as possible to the true value, which is 50. So let's look at A. A is 45 plus or minus 10%. Since this is a percentage, the first thing that we have to see is which values are covered by this. So what we're gonna do is 45 times 0.10, which is 10%. When we do that, what we get is 45 times 0.1 equals 4.5. So this value is 45 plus or minus 4.5, which means this value can go to 41.5 all the way to 49.5. If you notice, our value, which is 50, doesn't fall in there, but 49.5 is pretty close. So what we're gonna look at is that this one contains 49.5, but most of the numbers are gonna be below that. So keep that in mind. So let's do the next number. The next number is between 48.5 and 49.5, which means the number is 49 plus or minus 0.5. That will give us the 49 minus 0.5 is 48.5. 49 plus 0.5 is 49.5. So this number, the ending is gonna be 49.5 and the beginning is gonna be 48.5, which is a smaller range than the one we saw with the first one. So, because the first ones used to went all the way to 41 on one end. So these numbers are a lot closer to the true value. So the first number went from 41.5 all the way to 49.5. So both of these numbers are going to include 49.5, but this range is a lot smaller than this range. So most of the numbers were closer to the true value, which is 50. So far, B is the closest one to the true value. Let's look at the next one. Next one is 55. And it doesn't give you plus or minus anything, so you're gonna assume then whenever you have a number that doesn't have plus or minus, then it's gonna be based on the last digit. The last digit here is a unit, so plus or minus 1. So if you get plus or minus 1, you get 54 all the way to 56, right? 55 minus 1 is 54, 55 plus 1 is 56. So 50 is not even close to any of those numbers. So we can definitely discard this one because the range doesn't even include 50 in there, or it's not even close to 50, like 49.5. So far these ones appear to be the most accurate. Let's double check the last one. The last one is 40 plus or minus 2.5, which means it's going to go from 37.5 all the way to 42.5, not even close to 50, which is our true value, right? So the most accurate is going to be the one that gets closer to the true value, and not only that gets closer to the true value, like we have A was 41.5 all the way to 49.5. The second was 48.5 all the way to 49.5. So the majority of the numbers here are going to be closer to 50. This begins on 48, so all these numbers are going to be closer to 50 than something that starts on 41. Therefore, B is the most accurate. What about the precision? The precision is how big the plus or minus is. So on the first one, be really careful because this is a percentage. So once more, to know the plus or minus, so the plus or minus for A is going to be the percentage, which is 10%, 0.10 times 45, which is going to be plus or minus 4.5. For B, the middle is going to be 49, so it's going to go from 48.5 to 49, and from 49, so for B, the plus or minus is 0.5. For C, it doesn't give you plus or minus or a percentage, so we take the last digit, which is a unity, 55, 56, 57, so it's going to go up by 1. And for D, it's telling you that the plus or minus is 2.5. So which one is the smallest one? The smaller one is going to be B. So that's why B is the most precise. Okay, if you didn't get it, if you got it, stop there. If you didn't get it, let's do another one. Okay, so another one. So the true value is 4. So which number includes 4 or is closer to 4? So the first one is 2.0. It doesn't give us a plus or minus. So the plus or minus is going to be 0.1 based on the last digit. So this is going to go from 1.9 all the way to 2.1. Not even close to our true value, right? So most likely this is not going to be the most accurate. What about the next one? The next one goes from is 5.0 plus or minus 0.2. So it's going to go from 4.8 to 5.2. True value is 4. So most likely not the most accurate. The next one is going to be a percentage. So remember, when you have a percentage, instead of having 3.5 plus or minus 30%, you're going to have 3.5 times 0.30. That's what 30% is. And that's going to be, just give me a second, 3.5 times 0.30, that's going to be 1.05. And when we do plus or minus, we only take the first digit. So this is going to be 3.5. In reality, this is going to be 3.5 plus or minus 1. So this is going to go from 2.5 all the way to 4.5. So this one includes the value. Remember, our value is 4, right? So this is a possible candidate because the value is in there. Oh, and it's 0.5 away from the true value. And the last one is from 2.5 to 3.5, which means the middle is 3. So plus or minus 0.5. So this is going to go from 2.5 to 3.5. So it doesn't make it to the true value. So the answer is going to have to be then C, which is the one that have the value in here somewhere or is pretty close to it. What about the precision? Well, we have a lot of the numbers here. The first one is 0.1. The second one is 0.2. The third one is 1.05. And the last one was 0.5. So which one is the smallest one? I would have to say 0.1, right? And that's what the answers are. C for the most accurate, and the most precise, the one with the smaller plus or minus, will be A. So if you still didn't get it, let's do one more. If not, go ahead and press. If you got it, go ahead and press on with something else. Let's do one more. So how come D is the most accurate and A is the most precise? Well, the true value is 0.72. So the most accurate had to ideally contain that number, and if it doesn't contain that number, be as close as possible to that number. So the first one is 0.82. Since it doesn't give us a plus or minus, it's going to be based on the last digit. So plus or minus 0.01. And it's always a 1 on the last position. So this number is going to go from 0.81 to 0.83, right? 0.82 minus 0.01, 0.82 plus 0.1. So this one doesn't, our 0.72, which is that one there, is not in there. So most likely this one is not the most accurate. The next one is 0.92 plus or minus 0.02. So this is going to go from 0.90 all the way to 0.94. Once more, it doesn't include the value. The next one is a percentage. So we're going to take the 0.52 and we're going to multiply it by the percentage, but into decimals. And that's going to give us 0.052. So that means this is going to be 0.52 plus or minus 0.052, which is going to give us 0.52 minus 0.052 is going to give us 0.468, which we're going to do is plus or minus, right? Not plus or minus, sorry. So this is going to be our lower value. So this one is going to go from 0.068 all the way to 0.52 plus 0.052, which is going to be 0.572, which doesn't include our value either. Our value is 0.72. What about then the last one? The last one is from 0.6 all the way to 0.8. So right on the middle is 0.7. So this is going to be plus or minus 0.1. So 0.6 plus 0.1, 0.7, 0.8 minus 0.7 minus 0.1 is 0.6, 0.7 plus 0.1 is 0.8. So this one definitely includes our value, which is 0.72. So this has to be the most accurate. What about the most precise? Well, the smallest plus or minus. For the first one, 0.01. For the second one, 0.02. For the third one, 0.052. And for the last one, 0.01. So which one is the smallest one? It will have to be A, 0.01. So that's how you approach that. Basically, look to see what number is being represented by the plus or minus. Ideally, the true value will be included in there. And if it's not included, at least as close as possible. And then once you have determined all the plus or minus value, the smallest one is the more precise one. And keep in mind that when you have a percentage, you have to take that percentage, multiply it by the number, and that's your plus or minus value. Just like we did here. We took C, we took 0.52, changed the percentage to a decimal, and we came up with that number. So that became our plus or minus value. So hopefully that helped. If not, let me know right away so I can do something else. Thank you very much.